The story begins with Han Kyung-bae, a famous news anchor in South Korea. He lives a normal happy life with his wife and young son. Because of his job, many people recognize him on television. He spends most of his time working while his wife takes care of their son. One day, their child leaves home like any normal day. But he never comes back. At first, the parents think he may have gone somewhere nearby. But then, the phone rings. Kyung-bae answers the phone. A man speaks in a cold, calm voice. "We have your son." The father freezes. The kidnapper explains that if they contact police, their son will die. The mother immediately breaks down crying. But the father still secretly contacts the police. Soon, detectives begin tracing the calls. The kidnapper demands a huge amount. And every time he calls, he sounds completely calm, almost emotionless. The kidnapper doesn't just want money. He enjoys controlling the family. Every phone call becomes a nightmare. Sometimes he lets the parents hear their son crying. Sometimes he threatens to kill him. Other times, he simply stays silent. The police try everything to trace the location. But the criminal is extremely smart. He keeps changing phones and locations. The father slowly becomes obsessed with finding the man. The family can no longer live peacefully. Even inside their own home, they feel fear. Kidnapper gives instructions for the ransom delivery. The father must bring money alone. No police, no tricks, or the child dies. The police secretly follow him from a distance. The father travels across different locations at night carrying the ransom bag. Train stations, streets, public phones. The kidnapper keeps changing instructions again and again. It feels like he's playing a game. The father becomes exhausted and desperate. At one point, he almost catches the criminal. But the person who the father catched was the policeman who was trying to help them. The police team makes a perfect plan to catch the killer red-handed. The plan is that the mother will keep talking to the killer and simultaneously the police team will track the location. As time passes, another call comes from the killer. As police told, she tries to keep talking to the killer and police team starts tracing him. Killer understands their plan and tells that if you team will police, father makes a plan which will work for sure. As the killer told them to deliver the money at the location which he told. When they reach there, they should leave the car at the location he told and they should keep the bag of money inside the car with. After getting into the giant wheel, they saw a man with a hat getting into their car. Plan goes well as father expected. As one of the police was inside the trunk of the car, policeman who was inside the trunk was tied with rope without dress on his body. However, he escaped from the killer's hand.
In the next scene, police team was questioning father's old friend who has personnel grudge on him and also he has shortage of money. Police thought that he might be the killer but cannot confirm 100% that he is the killer. He has proof that he was at another place during the kidnap. Soon one more call comes from the killer to mother. He said, "One last chance I will give, come with money and get your kid back." Arrived there was a letter which says come to this particular location and keep the money there. When she reached the location, there was another letter which was pointing to another location. She got fed up and cried, hoping her son will be safe. The killer was watching her from distance all this time. She went to an ATM to withdraw money but huge amount cannot be withdrawn. When she tried to withdraw small amount one by one, the machine had limits to withdraw. She lost her hope and suddenly collapsed to the ground. Police found her on the middle of the road unconscious, and took her back to home. The police has prepared an exact voice graph of the killer which has the exact pitch. They found 450 people who have same voice as per the graph. Police almost confirms that Kyung-bae's old friend is the killer. Because the voice matches exactly with the killer's voice and also he has personal grudge against Kyung-bae. The detective says to his old friend that, "The all proof are against you. You lost your business 3 months ago. You knew the family personally. And your voice matches the killer's voice almost perfectly." Father's old friend says, "I already told you. I didn't kidnap Sang-woo." Then one officer enters into the room and says, "The kidnapper just called the victim's house. Right now. That means this man is not the killer. I told you I was not the killer who kidnapped your son Sang-woo." The situation was getting worse as it has been almost 3 weeks since their son was kidnapped. The parents were losing all their hopes. The department is trying harder to get any clue regarding the killer. Then they realize that he was calling them through different telephone booth and talks less than 1 minute. Soon killer calls them and tells this is the last time I am calling you, come to the amusement park near the city and keep the money in the location I say and I will return your kid back to you. At first father gets angry and says now I will not obey your demands and cuts the call. But after that he realized that it was his last chance to get his son back, he accepts the deal. The killer also says that if I see police again your son will be dead for sure. Kyung-bae walks through the crowded park surrounded by happy families and laughing children, while he desperately searches every corner hoping to find his son alive. His hands shake as he follows the kidnapper's clues step by step, constantly checking behind him, terrified the killer is watching nearby. The police secretly monitor the area, but the father no longer trusts anyone and only wants his son back. After placing the money at the instructed spot, he waits in panic, expecting Sang-woo to appear at any second. He saw his son sitting in a horse ride, but it was his hallucination. The amusement park lights, cheerful music, and laughing crowds make the scene even more heartbreaking because Kyung-bae realizes he has once again been played by the killer, and the tiny hope he still had for his son slowly starts disappearing. It has been 44 days since the child is missing. The rain was falling heavily that night. Police cars slowly stopped near the dark riverside of the Han River. Detectives stepped out silently, their faces already filled with fear. A small crowd began forming behind the police line. Nobody spoke. Nobody wanted to believe what they were about to see. One officer slowly walked toward a black plastic bag lying near the muddy riverbank. The atmosphere felt dead silent. Inside was the missing boy. Cold, motionless. The child they had been searching for during all those painful days was already dead. One detective lowered his head in shock. Another officer couldn't even look at the body. And at that exact moment, the parents still believed their son was alive, because the kidnapper had continued calling them, pretending the child was still breathing somewhere in captivity. The realization hit the police hard. The killer had murdered the boy long ago, and continued torturing the family only for his own satisfaction. As the camera slowly moved away from the riverside, the rain kept falling over the Han River. The city lights reflected on the dark water, while the voice of the murderer echoed one last time inside everyone's mind. A calm voice, emotionless, cold, and even after everything, the killer was never caught. After hearing her son's death she broke into tears. Father says we will try for another child and calms her. Since the body of kid was found near Han River side the case was closed. The next day police packed their department things from their house. The policeman told that his department was extremely sorry for their loss, and before going from there he handed him the original cassette containing killer voice. The next day, standing in front of cameras and live television lights, Kyung-bae abandoned his image as a professional news anchor. With shaking hands, he held up the cassette tape before the entire nation. The movie Voice of a Murderer was based on the real 1991 kidnapping and murder case of a young Korean boy that shocked the entire country. Even after all these years, many people still believe the killer could still be alive somewhere, listening, waiting, and never punished for what he did.